So a lot of businesses assume that you have to spend a lot of money on meta ads, especially if you're an e-commerce business running in a place like Nigeria. But that's not true. And I say this because from January to September, I've spent about 1.2 million naira. Within certain months, I spent as little as 70 to 80,000 naira. While within certain months, I spent over 100,000 naira, things like that. But each month, I generated at least 1 million naira. In this video, I'm going to show you how you run meta ads on a tight budget and see good results. Now, before we go into the meta ads manager itself, there are certain things that you need to spend money on even before running meta ads, okay? The first one is your creative. Now, I've spoken about this in a particular video where your creative is the most important thing or the most important aspect when it comes to seeing success with meta ads. That is the one key thing that has the highest return or the highest results. And that in itself has a cost, okay? Now, most times, your creatives should be video ads. And if it's video ads, ideally, you need either an influencer or a creator to work with you. So here's what I did. One of the e-commerce stores that I used to run back in 2020, 2021 was a streetwear brand. And I used to go to the gym every day at the time. So what I did was I organized a photo shoot and I got a few of my gym bros to come and be the models in that particular photo shoot. Now, if you know anything about gym bros, one thing that they want to be able to brag about is, oh, I used to model for so and so brand, or I used to model before, that sort of thing. And that's exactly what I tapped into. That desire to want to model. I gave them the stage, right? And here's a pro tip. Whenever you are going for a photo shoot, studio session, whatever it might be, try to go with a list of where you are going to use these creatives or where you're going to use this content. I say this because on that particular day, I got enough content, and this is back in 2021, I believe, that I'm still using till today. The next thing I want you to look at is your meta pixel and your conversions API. So basically, the meta pixel is a piece of code that is at the back end of your website. So whoever visits your website, Meta is then able to track those people when they go back to any other Meta platform. So when they go back to WhatsApp, when they go back to Threads, when they go back to Instagram, when they go back to Facebook, the Meta pixel is able to then track them and continue to show them different formats or different ads from your business. So it's almost as if your business is pursuing them wherever they go until they patronize your business. And guess what? Even after they patronize your business, it still continues to pursue them until they come and patronize it again. So you have your creative, you have your meta pixel set up, your conversions API, things like that. If your business is 1 to 6 months old, I want you to set up your ad as a traffic objective ad or a traffic campaign, whichever one you want to call it. If your business is 6 months to however old it is, you should just set up a sales objective or a sales ad. And I say this because in your business, you probably have two types of customers at the moment. You have cold audience and warm audience. Businesses like mine, we have three. We now have a hot audience, and I'll explain. The cold audience is seeing your business for the first time. They've never heard of you before, but they saw your ad and then they clicked on the ad and then they came to see what your business was doing. Did they like what they see? Maybe. Some of those people that liked what they saw, they will patronize you, but not a lot of them will patronize you. You would have very high bounce rates. You have people that would add to checkout, do all those things, but once they see there's no payment on delivery, they're out. Next up, you then have people that are the warm audience. These people, they've seen your ad before. You've been running ads, that have been targeting them. So now they're like, you know what? Let me just patronize this business. Those people, they patronize you, you deliver amazing. Then you have the hot audience. These people have been patronizing you for probably 2 to 3 years now. They trust your business. They probably speak to you directly. They just go to the website as a formality. Sometimes they call you instead on WhatsApp, that sort of thing. Now, when it comes to budget, 1,500 to 5,000 naira per day, that's your budget. Whichever one that you think you can do, fantastic. That's up to you. But you need to run it for at least 7 days. You run it for 7 days and then you see whether it's working or it's not working. If you're running a traffic campaign, the best way to see whether it's working is see how many people visit your website. And out of those people that visited your website, how many of them ended up performing either an add to cart or a website checkout. If you're running a sales campaign, ideally, you should have some sales. So that's your measurement. Now, one thing to note here, and this is within the ad set level of the Meta Ads Manager. When you are running your ads for the ad set level, especially, please pick a gender. Don't say you sell to both male and female. This one is a bit controversial, but it is highly unlikely that you sell to both genders. Like, it's highly unlikely that your primary audience is both genders. There is one gender that buys more than the other. Go and find out who that gender is and target that gender first. If you're on a tight budget, target that gender. If you're truly on a tight budget. If you have money to play around with, then you can say, oh, let me target all. Age. Another thing you want to look at is age. Depending on the product you sell, ideally focus on people that have the money you want. What does that mean? People between 18 to 24 don't have a lot of money at the moment. Those people are either students or they're just starting out their careers. So they prioritize other things than... They prioritize necessities, basically. Let me not say anything. Now, I'm not saying they are not outliers that are wealthy. Obviously, they are. Well, ideally, 18 to 24, they ain't got no money. Now, that sounded harsh. Now, your sweet spot, especially for Instagram ads, is 25 to 44. That's pretty much your sweet spot. Those are the people that have money. Now, if you're targeting Facebook audience, you can even push it up to 55 or 65 plus. It's up to you. Ideally, once you run this for 7 days, when you're looking at the metrics, you begin to notice certain things that are working well for you and are not working well for you. And then you can make adjustments. My next video, the one that's coming out tomorrow, actually talks about Meta Ads Analytics. So you should probably watch that video when it comes live. So subscribe if you haven't subscribed. But anyways, that's pretty much one of the things you want to look at. Next up is your targeting options. So that's where you can put in, what's it called now? The people, the demographics, behaviors, sorry, not demographics, the psychographics, so the behaviors, the interest, all of that, you put that in there. There are tools like ChatGPT that you can now use to actually come up with these things. Next up is placements. Another thing that a lot of people do is they do automatic placements. If you are active on Facebook and Instagram, fine, do automatic placements. But if you know that you spend all your time on Instagram, posting on stories, responding to DMs, responding to comments, posting on your social media feed, commenting on other people's pictures, on other people's posts, things like that, only on Instagram, please just focus on manual placement and run your ads only on Instagram. Next up, you go on to the ad itself. Now, when it comes to the ad itself, we've already done that at the first point. This is where you have gone to go and work with a content creator or influencer to create an ad or create a series of ads. Hopefully, you created a series of ads. Now, if you are looking for how to create those ads, this is the video that I suggest you watch next. In this particular video, I show you how to create what I call a scroll stopping ad that works every time for me.